Hi there everybody, this is David, and I've been playing quite a bit of Harvestella lately, and I kind of wish that I did things a little bit differently because I made a few mistakes. If y'all are out there and you think that this is just, the same old harvest, farmy simulator thing like that, I got another thing coming for you, because this thing is definitely different and it's a whole lot of fun, and I want to tell you 5 things that I wish that I knew before I began Harvestella, and I definitely do think that's worth a sub as you come and you join our party and you level on up with me. Thank you so much for your sub, your like, and your brand new hype. It helps me out a ton. And now let's dive right on into the great things that you should do in Harvestella to avoid my mistakes that I made. First up, let's just cover the basics and say, what do I do? If you're a little bit overwhelmed with everything that we have going on here, let me just kind of go over what your daily routine should be no matter what the season is. You wake up, you check your mailbox for any new quests or items, then you go to your gathering points around your farm because everything here is essential and you will want it. Then you go ahead and harvest and plant your crops, not forgetting to water them. Then run on back inside, see if there's any new food that you can create or new rewards that you can grab from the fairies. Before then going on back outside, shipping off the extraneous sellable items, and then storing just about everything else so that your backpack is free. It's only at that point that you can really leave your farm and then go about your day. But now, that does kind of beg the question, what should you be planting? You will of course obviously want a nice variety of crops in order to cook all the various foods that you'll need. That is your moneymaker after all. And always keep at least 10 of each crop on hand in your storage box. But after you've done that, you're going to want to plant the perennials. The ones that are kind of slower to grow, but they continually regrow. Look for the "can be harvested repeatedly" label, rather than the quick ones that grow once and then die off, like the carrots and the wheat. Also, just a note, really focus on upgrading your farm and your backpack before moving on to animal husbandry and other things like that. That there is more of an advanced winter season activity, not really a thing to focus on for spring or summer. Save up for it in the fall and then buy it for the winter. Number 2, let's make some money, honey. Now, you might be looking at me a little bit confused because I just said that you need to cook for money. However, the game tells you that you should just kind of sell your crops for money. Quite honestly though, you really do need to do both. However, I will say this, cooking is a gold mine. Once you can afford it, go on over to the smithy and have him build up a kitchen counter for you. Then go on back to the general store and buy up all the recipes that you can, and then get started cooking. Cook at least one of every single recipe that you can, and then take them to the taverns around the world. Each of the tavern owners will give you buku bucks for that food, easily paying you back tenfold for the cost of the recipes and the kitchen counters and everything else. You really shouldn't be using these recipes for their intended purpose, restoring your HP and stuff, because they are mostly just there to sell and earn you a ton of cash. However, you will need a recipe in order to restore your health, and that is where our next tip comes in. Number 3, don't leave home without it. Okay, remember how earlier I said that you need to be running around your farm every single day and gathering up everything? This is why. Whenever you pillage your farm, you'll find little mushrooms, wild leaves, and cool berries. And these 3 items will carry you through the entire game. Together, the mushrooms and the herbs will combine to create the Mountain Stir Fry, which is one of the best healing and stamina restoration items in the entire game, boosting your stamina by 50%, replenishing your hunger by 20, and restoring 900 HP to your entire party. For basic, everyday exploration, it is all that you will ever need, and it is super cheap to make. Always keep it with you and on hand. But sometimes though, you don't need that HP restoration. You just kind of want to be running around town and doing quests and stuff like that, and then your stamina runs out. So that is where the cool berries come into play. They only restore 50 HP to the party. But if you turn them into juice, they'll restore the entire party by 600 HP and they will not fill you up. And if you have a full hunger meter, then you can't heal with food, so juice is essential for bosses. And finally, the last few things that you should always keep in your backpack are return bells, just in case something goes wrong, and you want plenty of repair kits and bombs too. I mean, you'll just never know whenever you're going to need them. Number 4, finish off the fears. Whenever you first encounter the massive fear monsters, you will definitely freeze with fear, because if you don't, they'll just kill you with the quickness. But what the game does not tell you is that the fear's strength is actually indicated by a color system, with reds being the one to avoid at all costs, blue being roughly on your level, and then the green ones actually being killable. So whenever you do get up to the higher levels, you can go on back down to the lower level areas and kill all the fears there for a guaranteed 100% accessory drop. Now, the drops that you get, though, are rather random depending on the fears that you're fighting, but considering how rare accessories are in this game, it is one of the best ways to outfit your hero. So it is a good idea to run back on through the lower leveled areas and fight as many fears as you can to pick up these random accessories and make your characters that much stronger for the challenges that lie ahead. But do be careful to not run too far away from the fears whenever you're fighting them, because the combat system in Harvestella, it's a bit special, and they will despawn and repop with full HP if their pathing does get messed up, so just do be wary of that. And number 5, conquering the quietus. Okay, I'm going to admit it. The first time that the quietus hit, I stayed indoors and I cooked and I crafted, and then I went straight to bed. I didn't even go outside my farm. I mean, just 5 days prior, you're told by that stupid doctor not to leave the house for any reason. And I grew up on the NES, where you could just kind of like get an arbitrary game over for doing really dumb shit, so I didn't want to risk it. But believe me, that is not what you're supposed to do. There is a ton of unique things that you can only do during the quietus. First things first, before the quietus even comes, just make sure that you've harvested your field and you time your planting, because whatever you have out there will die. Then, during the quietus, you can utilize the time to reorganize your farm, craft, fish, and cook. But the most important thing to do is to head on over to that old well, because it transforms into a special 64 seasonally themed challenge dungeon. And here, you can get all sorts of unique items. One thing to keep in mind though, most of the items that you get here do need to be purified, and you won't be able to craft one of those purifiers until you reach and conquer the 10th level of the floor. So do make sure that you bring around plenty of food, and if you are low leveled, bring a ton of orbs too. Those orbs are super powerful and they will help you quickly kill any bosses that you happen to encounter down there. So that's it for my 5 best beginner's hints and tips for playing Harvestella. But now, I do want to hear from you. What hints and tips do you have for playing the game? Please let me know in the comments, because you know that I always read them all. Leave a like if you like this video and it helped you out. Be sure to sub for some more, and as always, have a good day.